culture is coming to ferment your raw milk for you to get your yogurt. Yes. So the bacterials in the culture is active bacteria. We have non-active bacterials and then active bacterials. But the one in the culture is active ones. So once you put them in the milk, they will start reacting on the milk immediately for you to get that thickened nature of the yogurt. Yes. So we have the mother culture and then we have the starter culture. The one that I just showed you is a starter culture. The mother culture comes in a powdery form. It comes in a powdery form, and then the amount of grams is written on the sachet, and then the amount that you are supposed to add to any liters of milk is also written on the sachet. So the mother culture, you use the mother culture to set a starter culture, and then you use that starter culture to set the yogurt. We just don't go in straight. You can go in straight with the mother culture, but it's very small, like 50 to 120 grams, and it's expensive. So you don't want to use that for your yogurt. You get it? And then even the bacterials in that mother culture is very high. So you have to inoculate it before you use it for your yogurt. So some of the yogurts, when you buy the yogurt, like when you buy yogurt from us, you can use it as culture for your yogurt. You get it? So if you buy a mother culture, it takes long for you. Even though it's very small, but then it will take long. It will take very long period of time. Because you are going to use a very small amount of mother culture to set 20 liters of culture, and then you are going to use that 20 liters of culture to set plenty yogurt. And even that yogurt that you have set, you can use that yogurt to set another yogurt. So by the time you go back to your mother culture, it will be a very long time. But then the mode of keeping the mother culture, you have to always keep it in a freezer. And if you are transporting it, you have to make sure it has ice on it. Once the temperature increases a little bit, they are active, they will start acting. So you keeping them cold, you are rendering them powerless. They can't act in that stage. Yes, so if you are transporting it, you have to make sure there's ice on the culture before transporting it. But then when you use it for the starter culture, that one you have inoculated it, so you just the chilled one, you can transport it and then use it. Yes. Please, any questions with the culture issue? Yes, please.
My question is the 20 milliliter starter that you prepare from the mother.
Yes.
How much liters of yogurt can you prepare with it?
To every amount of milk that you set as yogurt, you have to measure a culture of 3%. So you can imagine.
So if it is 10 liters, you need 3 liters of.
No, you need about 30 mils.
30 mils, okay.
Yes. You need about only 30 mils of that 20 liters.
That's the way, okay.
Yes. So it will keep long for you. It will keep very long for you. So.
And then my next question is you said you need to inoculate it. What do you mean by
simply, sorry. Inoculation means you are just putting something into something. You get it? Like you are putting culture into milk. You are introducing something to something. Like you are introducing culture into milk for it to ferment for you. You are introducing the mother culture into milk for it to be the starter culture for you. Yes. But if you are starting and then you think that the mother culture is too expensive for you to buy, you can come and buy the starter culture from us. when you call us and then you say you want to buy culture, you want to buy starter culture, we prepare it down for our personal use, so we always have some around. So you can buy the starter culture and go and use it for the meantime, or you can further buy our yogurt. It will still set your yogurt for you, but just that you can't use that yogurt that you are set to set another yogurt. The yogurt will set, but you won't get the smoothness of it because you have used the bacterials too much, so you won't get it as smooth as it's supposed to be. Yes. So once you use your culture and then you use it, then your yogurt is not consistent, then you have to see that, oh, I've used it too much, so I have to change the culture. You have to go back to the mother culture or the starter culture. Yes. Yes.
Please, can you take us through the cost of the mother culture? The way you said it's expensive. It's a range.
It's 150 cedis, but then it's about 50 grams. Very small. Yes. Very, very small.
But you said,
but the 150 grams, you can use it to set 250 liters of starter culture.
So meaning that if you want to set the 250 liters of this starter culture, you have to buy 3 of the sachets.
No, one. The 50 is to 250 liters of starter culture.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you can use just one sachet to set 250 liters of culture.
Okay.
Which that culture you can use it to. So you can imagine, it takes long before you buy another mother culture. It takes very long. So now the yogurt processing. Please, should I proceed? Now the yogurt processing and milk, raw milk. Raw milk, but some people use powdered milk, so add that one to it.
Raw milk has to be fresh cow milk.
Fresh cow milk, yes.
Is the thermometer, is it a normal kind of, is it a normal one?
No, the digital one.
Okay.
This is how it looks like, the digital one. Okay. No, the class. Are you supposed to submit it to me? I don't think so.
They will come for it.
Oh, okay.
These 2 quick questions.
Yes, please.
The first one being that, so how much of the prepared mother culture can you take to
Set yogurt.
your starter?
The starter. Unless you get a digital scale,
Okay.
and then you measure it. But you don't have a digital scale. So you just divide, for it to be at the safer side, you divide that quantity, that 50 grams into 4.
Okay.
You get it? And then you use one to set about 30 liters of yogurt. And then you use that one for starter culture.
Okay.
You get it? By our place, we just use 1 out of 4 for only 20 liters because we sell the culture. So we want it to be stronger for you to be able to use your yogurt too. But when you are doing it at home, you can divide it into 4 and then you use one to do 30 liters of milk, starter culture. Yes.
And then also about the milk, how much of the milk, or when we get to the practicals, we'll go through that.
Which question?
How much of the milk, the cow milk, do you need, like the quantity? And then the powder, is powdered powder, is there any type of powder?
We have powdered milk.
Yes. Milk powder. Is it
Milk powder. No, the milk powder. You see, the milk powder no, is the Milac. There's a brand in the market. It's called Milac. Milac. Normally they put it in When you get to the market, they put it in rubbers, and then they will be tying it.
So that's the, let me say, the local one we know.
Yes. But you can't go and buy cowbell. You can't go and buy cowbell will not set for you.
Okay.
Nunu milk will not set for you.
Okay.
So the local ones that they pour into why are you smiling? You have a special name for it.
Actually, the one, let me
I have a special name for it, but I can't say it here.
Please say it.
No.
Please say it.
People, people, people. I mean, when we went to school, those we were using it in school, so we had a name for it, but I can't say it on. We are streaming live on Facebook, so I can't say it. Thank you. It's not non-dairy. It's not non-dairy. It's milk powder. They should contact you. So that one, that milk powder, when you want to dilute it, let me show you how the water content has been removed from it. Most of the nutrients have also been removed from it. But if you don't have access to raw milk at your place, you can use the powdered milk. So you get a scale and then you measure 1 kilo of that powdered milk to 9 liters of water. So you will get 10 liters of milk. You get it? So when you take 1 kilo of that milk powder, so 1 kilo of that milk powder is to 9 liters of water. So when you mix that, you get 10 liters of milk. And with that one, they have already reduced the moisture content from it. So you don't heat it, you will get there. You will get there. So the milk, the yogurt processing. When you are using raw milk, which is the fresh milk for yogurt, when you are using it for pasteurized milk, pasteurization temperature is 72 degrees Celsius. So once you heat your milk to 72 degrees, it means that any disease or causing organism in the milk is dead. So it's edible. Actually, you can use it for any other thing that you want to use it for. But anyway, that's pasteurization. 72 degrees Celsius. Yes. Yes.
So this, whilst heating, does it mean the digital thermometer has to be in the...
No, you put it on fire, and then probably you check it every 5 minutes. You stir it for it to be even temperature, and then you check the temperature. When it gets to the right temperature, it will stop. When it gets to the temperature, the digital thermometer will stop. It won't go again. So the readings on the thermometer will determine the temperature of the milk. So whilst I'm blabbing, let's start the processing.
How do you check the temperature? If this is your bowl of milk, where should the thermometer?
You didn't put it in the water. You didn't put it in the pasteurization.
Okay, then go ahead.
You don't put the thermometer into. You said.
No, I was asking that if this is your bowl of milk,
yes,
and you're inserting the thermometer to check the temperature,
right?
How far should it go?
It shouldn't touch the container that you are using, or else it will take the temperature of the container rather, not the milk. And then even with a digital thermometer, when you are using a dipper container, it can't go all the way because you only insert where the metal part is. You don't go all the way to the top. Yes, sometimes it can be tedious because of the heat. When you are heating it to 90 degrees, the heat, but so let's set this up. Hey, now me cry my for matches about. Obi any matches. Yes. Please, can I get a match? Matches. Okay, thank you. So whilst we are finding the matches, let's start the process of yogurt. We have talked about pasteurization, but then when you are preparing yogurt, we want to get rid of as much moisture as possible, but then we don't want to lose the nutrients in the raw milk rather. So we further heat it to 90 degrees. When you are doing yogurt, you heat the milk to 90 degrees Celsius. We don't heat it to 100. When it gets to 100, it has reached the boiling point. You get it? So you lose most of the important nutrients in the milk. So you heat it to 90. Yes. And then when you heat it to 90, now the culture, the bacteria in it can only work within a range of temperature, which is from 40 degrees to 45 degrees. So now what do? We cool the temperature. So after heating it, you remove the milk and then you put it in a cold water for the temperature to cool down to 45. We cool it to 45 because the culture you'll be using is probably chilled. So when the bacteria is lower, when the temperature is lower than 40, the bacteria will be rendered a little bit powerless. So they will work on your yogurt for you, but then it will take a longer time. And then the longer it takes, the bitter and then the sour it will take. So mpacho nkoma chika karawai.
Back.
Yes. Where we anim na nyahwe.
Is it okay?
Yes. Can you hold this? Thank you. Okay. Yeah, gas there. Pacho, fato sumano. Namindi. Nimbi me pesa odi jane to so. Pesa odi jane to so na fe ye bie nefa.
Permanent here, do your time now.
Hey. Oh yeah, sure. So this will serve as a water bath. Hey, what did any rubber? Ah, how do you fix this? Yes, this one. Thank you. So this is raw milk. Please come and see. It has been there for a while, so you see the fat has settled on top. I don't know if you have realized that. So if you go to a farm and then they supply you milk, this is the first thing you have to see. You have to look for if it has not been adulterated, if they have not added any water to it. And then there are 2 platform tests that you can do at home. Actually one. The one is a lab, this thing. If you want to know if your milk has started spoiling, you can fetch a little bit of this one and then put it under a fire source. Whilst it starts to boil and then the milk starts to clot, then it means the milk spoilage has taken place. Even if it's not smelling, it has spoiled, so you have to reject the milk. When you say who receiving milk free farm, na say ope say who say asaya, o saka kakra bi say 1 tablespoon, na bia wo de egu chance mu, na de asi gya so. Nti say start say ehu, na say ebon kotoa na che say milk na say e bia na sentence starting ben mu ye, but milk na say
metal container, any reason?
These are airtight containers, and then you freeze milk na sa na yedeba. So na be ya ebenya much time for this. Yes. This one's plastic container too is okay.
Airtight.
Yes. Here and say be airtight. Yes. Pacho, let's pour the water in it. Foam ne baswa. Not just reaching the boiling point. If you over turn it off the source of half, over turn it the source of heat, no. If you say abubwa, ube who wa milk him, and I say ube share bibi so, won't say cloth no. If you say cloth no woman, not just a milk and not say. But I bet yes, it's okay. But I bet to me a boil. You get it? I bet to me a boil. Inti so doom source of heat na ebejo, but ushia ebe float say normal milk na is say she milk. Where your raw milk? Say omo din su afra. No. The only thing you can do at home is to.
Okay, so please, I think can we sit down now?
The only thing you can do is the organoleptic test. Is I say say na actual fresh milk looks like. Because the other one, lab, you use to lactose scan any centrifuge, any who say, the insure afra and as the insure fry. But who fear, as I say, how fresh milk looks like. It's almost the banners, almost the yes, almost the banners say insure. No, it has been not a freeze. In the air, fat, a lightest component, it's a best settle or top. This is another way you can also separate fat from milk. Who freezing as a toa fat because fat is a light component of milk ni muntino. Toa e ba be settle or top. Fat in ba be settle or top. Na wasisa e freeze. So won pe fat bebre wo yogurt ni ma. Na wasisa e freeze. So now we use to milk no dey aye yogurt. Inti no ye be hie milk na egu. Yes. Let's just rinse it with water. So this will serve as a water bath. You can say you the see source of heat in so direct. A bit to me ashe. A share a beje milk nim. No amount of flavor can take that flavor away. Because milk has the tendency say bibia ebe kahu bia no. Ebe fa flavor no. Into the empesa ebe she. Anya sa so a obetumi dey see cold pot so, but on a very low heat. Yes. Now we're checking it constantly. Nti you be share milk no. Now yes. I think this is 5 liters of milk. Yes. 5 liters. 5 liters. 5 liters. Inti insuno be hiti. Insuno be hiti na hiti ya milk na mai. Si e pentem so ayen hwe milk no so na yen ketwa. Se na be ye ntem e be hiti ntem. Na where and set you. Yogurt wa ha. Yes, set yogurt wa ha. Yes, and the set yogurt by. Say na yogurt set ya etifa. By this time kra na nti probably ube hu kakra. Nti eno na ye be mix ya ma ba we ni de ube twen 4 hours na e be set ya ma na ube nom dia. Ube nom dia. Nti ye betumi ate milk no so say na be heating tem. Na yeah. Tino. I think we should reduce the milk. Yes. Increase it. I've increased it.
So we should pour it back in?
Yes. The more we use to pasteurize the nama for so that one is allowed. Yes, it's okay. So
Yeah, my name one.
And if I pin the
Why don't you have a book for it?
Yeah, exactly.
Off the gas, off the gas.
Why? What happened?
The grass is burning.
Ah, the gas.
The
grass is burning.
So how do we do this?
grass
Now no dey won. Can you see on the issue?
We can affect it, Anna.
No, it wouldn't be enough for it to, yeah.
No, ash, say I'm gonna grass in me.
Tien fan ko ho.
Ideally, no. Ash, the anti.
And so no craft ya see. Wait. So what do you suggest we do, please?
We shouldn't increase it too much.
Too much, okay.
You see, I would do no crowd. They should have gone that's why they were like,
baby. I call. And you be son of we can go to the stand. Okay, so let's transfer everything there. Okay. Okay, let's reduce the.
So maybe you can still talk here, but then someone will be doing the
over there.
Yes. And then when it's ready, they bring it and they continue.
Okay.
Let's reduce the distance.
It's up to you.
but Anka Ash no, so no, Anka Nyashu, because Ash no grass.
Okay, so let's transfer it. So, what's it? No, yeah, the hiti a unipe. That's the only.
When I spread the
yeah, we can lose control.
So let's move it to a place that
we can position this to the other side, and then we turn this way.
That's all. Okay.
They are bringing blocks. Let's put it under.
They are bringing. Okay.
There's another one.
It's simple. Let's get water and wet the grass around it. That's all. Give me ideas. I understand. Let's wet
I think the blocks or the sand.
The sand. Let's just go to the sand area. Let's go here.
I know the blocks are just.
Then they should bring the blocks. Okay, Mama Yamfa blocks. Almost say they want to capture.
People are saving life as well.
When we bring it back here,
We'll just heat it
and
over
bring
there.
it here. So let's heat it there and just bring it and continue.
Okay.
Oh, let's heat it. After heating, we sit down. Then you go on with the discussion.
Okay.
No.
So let's go.
But
It's hot.
everybody else is sitting down.
It's hot.
You don't have the whole day. Eshi.
Say paper ni bi mame why? Yeah, yamfanko say keke. Woo. It's hot. No.
Let's move
No, I'll just still stand here and talk. They will just heat it to the 95 and then they will bring everything here and they will do everything. So now, can I have somebody to be checking the temperature for us? Our thermometer is on. Thermometer. I have some guy who sells some. I'll give him your number. I mean, I'll give his number to you. Thank you. Milk, we get it on our farm. We are a dairy farm, so yes.
It's on the fire.
Yes, please. So we get yes. Anytime you are going to check your temperature, you have to stay for the milk to have a uniform temperature before you check the temperature, because obviously the down will be much hotter than the top. Yes. Are you done? Oh, okay. So please.
I don't use this kind of cylinder, so if you can check
So
I don't use this kind of cylinder. This I don't know. So if you can check whether it's leaking.
oh, it's not.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
Clockwise or anti-clockwise?
Oh, anyhow.
Anyhow. Soap. Oh, yeah, soap. Right.
So if you don't have thermometer, wait, mommy check your answer. My check in your uncle. Wait, I need to tie my hair. It's okay, right? Okay. So now we have stirred. We just dip it inside. When it gets to the temperature, it will stop.
You didn't put it on 0 first?
No, when you switch it on, it will collect the temperature in the atmosphere. Yes. So this is about 56 and still counting. Let's say again. Let's see. Can you do the
irrespective of the quantity, the temperature has to be
90.
degrees.
Yes.
So I put it in and press.
No, you don't press anything. You just put it inside. And it has to make sure it's on degrees Celsius because it has Fahrenheit and then degrees Celsius. So you change, if it's on Fahrenheit, you just press that button there. It will change it to Celsius for you.
Do you get the thermometer in Ghana? And where can
Actually, it's imported, but then I think some people have started importing some. So I know some few people who sell some. Yes. Yes, at the end of the
this particular one.
Yes, this is the one that is you can't use the clinical one. When it breaks, it will contaminate the milk.
Because in baking, you also have another one where you just
Put it inside.
show it to it and you read the temperature.
No, in milk we just use this one. Yes. You said?
We have one that is used for water. Check the heat of water.
To check the heat. How does it look like?
It's a plastic, but there are two small metals at the tip. Can you remove it now?
No, I think you should remove it and then 61 and still counting. So and then you read it. No, this one you have to dip it inside because it's liquid. You have to, yes, you have to dip it inside. So whilst we are waiting for our no 90, let's go so that I'll continue with the process. Yes.
No, if you do it that
We'll
way,
come back
the
in
air
5
will
minutes time.
blow it.
But I think it's okay. Or
Is that something that we can use to cover?
no, we didn't bring anything to cover.
Just the mosquito.
Yes.
No, you have to lower it a little, check.
Eh,
And then
okay. So our milk is on fire. When it gets to 90, we'll remove it and then we cool it to 45 degrees. Let's make our water ready. So we'll just remove the bucket and put it here. Whilst we stir, we'll be checking the temperature. When it gets to 45 degrees Celsius, we will take the culture, this one, and then we'll pour, we'll look at the amount that we are using, and then we'll calculate for the 3% of that amount of culture, and then we'll use it. This one is just demonstration, so. But when you're doing it at home, it has to be hygienic. And yes, sir, obi kodina ne yemi ne ya. It's on you. It's on you. That's why you have to get there are some disinfectants that you can use for your hands if you don't want to wear gloves, because when you are using the fire you can't wear gloves. It might burn you. So to be on the safer side, you go to AGRIHOUSE. You say you are looking for disinfectant that you can use to disinfect your hand. It's not for food processing. It's not alcoholic based too. So you use that one and then you are free to go. And the milk, when you don't wash it, like you don't wash the utensils and then you keep it down, even for 12 hours, you come and then it will be smelling. So washing, water and everything has to be consistent. When you use everything, you have to rinse it down. Even if you can't wash it, you have to rinse it down. You have to be rinsing it down. Yes. It has to be flowing water. You rinse it and then it flows away. You rinse it and then it flows away. Yes. So after the 45, we'll calculate the 3%. Then we'll put it, we will add some of the milk. We don't want to reduce the temperature of the milk. The culture is chilled. So we have to add some of the milk to the culture to increase the temperature of the culture before putting it into the milk. I hope you understand. We don't want it to be harsh. We don't want it to be harsh. You see, the bacteria work between a range 40 to 45, but then when it's below 45, they can't work for you. It will take a longer period, which we want to avoid that. So for you to avoid that, the milk that you have cooled to 45 degrees Celsius, you have to fetch some of that milk and add it to the culture, because the culture is from the fridge, it's chilled. So you have to add it to the culture. Yes, before you add it to the whole milk. Yes. So after adding it to the milk, you stir evenly and then you cover it. By now you are not using this one. You'll be using blue band margarine containers. So let's say you have cooled your milk. So you using this stainless steel bucket for processing, you have to cool it to 46, because you are now coming to pour it into the margarine bucket. it will reduce the temperature by all means. By the time you walk and get your culture and everything, the temperature would have reduced, but not drastically below 40. That's what we are avoiding. So to be on the safer side, cool it to 46. And then pour it into the rubber container, and then add your culture and everything. Stir. After that, you cover it and then put it in an ice chest. If you don't have an ice chest, you further cover it with blankets, plenty blankets, or very heavy one. The purpose is to maintain that temperature that you set the yogurt for the bacteria to work on the milk for you. You don't have to leave it outside. Air will be blowing around it. So you either put it in an ice chest and cover it, or you put blankets or bed sheets, heavy ones, around it. You see, after setting the yogurt, you don't need to disturb the yogurt like that.
So why don't you pour it in the ice chest itself?
You can also set it. You can also set it in an ice chest.
Because that will
But that one, you are not. You get it. Some ice chests might cool stuff, but you don't know if air is passing through some place into the ice chest. You don't know that, so we don't recommend that. We don't recommend that. But you see, those margarine buckets, when you cover it, it's covered. Yes. Yes.
If you are using those paint buckets, because of the chemical, you have to be very sure it is well clean.
Exactly.
Because it will.
They have ones that are imported without the food.
Okay.
Ah,
Because
okay.
someone might be tempted to use a paint bucket with a paint on it. So you need to make sure they are well clean. Else the scent will just transmit.
But margarine bucket is the best. Yes, margarine bucket is the best. So I'll urge you all to be using the margarine buckets instead of any other buckets. Because that's once we have tested, and then, yes, that's why we are using that one as an example for you. You can't get this chance anywhere. You just wash it with soap. You wash it with soap. But the soap crap, we recommend sunlight. Because sunlight wouldn't leave any aroma in that bucket for you. Other soap have harsh perfumes. Yes, so in our factory, liquid soap, key soap too, right? Well, I don't know, but it's sunlight that is recommended. Well, if you think that one will be good for you, but at our factory, the only liquid soap that we use is sunlight. We use it at the milking parlor. Those are the soap that they use at the milking parlor and in the factory. Because that one has been tested long time. We even came to meet it, so we can't do anything about it. Yes. So we use sunlight. You use sunlight with sponge. You just wash it nicely. You drain it. After draining it, you find a nice napkin or tissue. You clean it, and then you save it at some place that you are ensured that no dust or nothing will contaminate it.
What of after washing it? You heat water.
Yes.
And then you pour it inside,
and then you shake it. That one too. Yes. That one too. Yes. That one too would not be a bad idea.
Dairy products are very, if you are not careful,
Exactly. Exactly. So, yes, please.
In offsetting the milk, you made mention of the raw, like using the powdered milk. You said you use a quantity of 1 kilogram of the starter.
No, I didn't say starter. 1 kilogram of the milk.
Of the milk
to 9 liters of water. Yes.
To give you 10 liters of milk.
Milk.
But what happens if it's, what do you call it? Oh, okay. It's okay.
Your question is answered.
We are now going to do the starter mixture. That's adding the culture to the milk.
To the milk, yes. But when you are using the powdered milk, you heat it to 90. You heat it to 45 or 46. Because that one has already been pasteurized, has already went through so many processes. So nutrients nankasa ye bebre free mu dada. So you don't want to lose further nutrients. So you just heat it to the amount of temperature that you want to put the culture inside, which is 45.
Please, can you add both, like get
You can mix it.
mix with
You can mix it.
the raw milk?
Yes.
So
So
what
when you can mix it when the milk gets to 70 degrees or 72 degrees, when you are sure it has been pasteurized, then you further add the powdered milk to it. But always you have to make sure the milk exceeds the powdered milk, or it will be so obvious. If the person really knows how fresh milk tastes like, immediately the person tastes your yogurt, the person will know that there's powdered milk in the yogurt.
I wanted to ask, maybe I have mixed my powdered milk
Yes,
already.
yes,
But I want to add cow milk to it.
yes.
So in this case, what quantity should I add to my mixed powder?
It depends on you. But it shouldn't be 50-50 either.
It shouldn't be 50-50.
No. The raw milk should exceed the powdered milk.
Okay.
Yes.
So
So our people are busily checking the temperature. Why? 1 degree. Any I drew. Mufambra. Yes.
If you are not good in calculations or measuring things, will you advise that person to venture into yogurt making?
Of course. There's nothing really calculative about this. 3%, 3 over 100 times whatever quantity, 10.
That's calculation.
No, but
How my grandmother would prepare yogurt.
Now is your grandmother here?
No, I'm going to
He's
teach
going
her.
to
Yeah,
teach
so you
her.
teach her how to do that.
So she will find it difficult.
teach her how to do that, because you don't want to add plenty of culture either. It might hurt somebody's stomach. Maybe emfa oyem, but obi nso ko dey be fa ne yem. Is the
My question is, what is the purpose of heating the milk to 90 degrees and then I know cooling down to 45 is for the culture,
Yes.
but then heating it up to 90%, what is the
we
purpose?
want to get rid of much moisture as possible from the milk. Yes, so that the yogurt will be thick. Yes. So let's say we have cooled our yogurt, we have cooled our milk, we have added our culture. So we've talked about that. So we stir it and then now we keep it. I think we have talked about that too. So you leave it for our culture. You leave it for 4 hours. No disturbances, no nothing. Don't go constantly check it. No, just leave it there. Until unya the blankets and kata you time it. No one your time. We calculate 4 hours time. To 4 hours time, oba no abe you blanket. Na we be wo yogurt no so. Nti se obi e wo yogurt no so a. Say na say we anane. Bacho mo me hwe say na say. Se o tilte we yogurt. Se o tilte yogurt na ese say ete ne ho free container ne ho te say na aye say no. Nti say enye say na still a watery, that means there's something wrong with your temperature. Leave it. Ye no boko kata so biom na san blanket no na man another 1 hour.
That's after 4 hours.
Yes, that's after 4 hours. Na san man another hour. Nti woman up to 6 hours na san set ya. Chale too go. Yes, this is the final product. But we know you're chilling a kakra into I am more thickened. But so I'll check here. A bet to say jam. A more in do say. A bet to say a jam tiano. But it has to wear away from the container. If you wears away from the container, that means don't be deceived by the fat. When there's much fat in the milk, fat in the flow. Inti e bia be feel say ensete. Inti e say o tilting more. Now koto whitish ade no. Now who say it will wear away from the container. If it does, then what hit a jackpot. Ube so then you put it into a freezer, not fridge. Because now we have to stop the activities of the bacteria. And sir, what do you go freezer man? They will still work on it. It will no power back on. Now yogurt na aye bitter, aye nyonyo. Na esan keka. Until now when it sets, we have to stop the activities of the bacteria. Ti ebe bie so, near the akoshe freezer. Na heat na omu no, e free muntem. Se na be ya bacteria na omo ye adwuma na omo be render on powerless unless ebia obesan ede yogurt no akwasan akoshe 45 degrees Celsius na sama omo activeness.
Is it advisable to put it in the freezer when there is still heat?
Yes, the heat that will be inside wouldn't be too much for the freezer.
It has to cool down considerably before you put it in the freezer.
No, it doesn't have to cool down. Immediately the yogurt sets, it has to go into the freezer.
Even when it is warm?
Yes, and it wouldn't be that warm because we literally cool it to 45 and then we further did some processes. So, yes.
So I do realize that there are types of yogurt.
Yes.
So please, which type are we going?
This one is a probiotic drinking yogurt. We have the Greek yogurt. But the Greek yogurt, the difference between the Greek yogurt and then this one is there's a liquid in the yogurt which is not visible now. I think it's actually visible. So there's some, come and see. There's some yellowish fluid. It's called whey.
Okay.
It's not chilled enough, so it's called whey. When they are doing the Greek yogurt, they will drain the whey out of the yogurt. So it will become more thickened than the drinking yogurt. So it's actually so it will actually look like an ice cream.
Yeah.
That's the only difference between the Greek yogurt and this one.
So into the fan, let's put it on top. Let's put the bowl here. So here to you be stirring.
Yes, stir and check. 45, please. A human tea. So that's the difference between them.
So the difference is not about the taste because I realized that.
But once the whey is drained, it will become more sour than this one.
Okay.
Once the whey is drained out of it, it will become more sour than this one. And then that one is the factories that use it because they use machines, they use centrifuge to separate it from the they separate the whey from the yogurt. So the way people do whey drink, you won't throw the whey away. People do whey drink, but I don't know how they do it.